Oh, we are live, y'all. We are live.
Hello,
What
hello,
up?
hello. Happy almost the end of the
Friday?
year, basically.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm just
Look at
making
that.
sure that this is working
We
here.
end up build. Oh yeah, we're so used to the members. It actually tells us how many people are watching.
I just want to make sure it's attached correctly. Okay.
Just checking, y'all. Well, it says there's 4 people watching according to this right now.
Oh, okay, then it must be. Okay, beautiful. Because on my
Weird.
home screen, it still said your notification is
I think there's a
turned on.
delay. There's
Okay,
there's
perfect.
like a 10-second delay or something.
Hello, hello, hello.
What up?
Happy
Welcome,
almost
everybody.
holiday. Happy, like, if you're working, this should be the last, basically I'm getting a call. This should be the last day of your work week.
Yeah.
So that's lovely. Don't we love that?
Unless you're a hustler working on.
Oh, except
until
for,
Christmas.
like, yeah. Like
Retail, probably. Let's keep going.
retail, you keep going through.
But the office folks will be.
The office folks are out. And our dog is just inhaling the dining table.
Are you good, buddy?
So yeah, happy holidays to y'all. I hope everybody is beautiful. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to our Friday live, the last live of the year, and the 50K celebration.
Yes.
Because we got gifts. There are gifts
yeah.
coming.
Oh yes.
And gifts with a T.
With a T.
Not gifts like the
Not
graphic.
graphic. What is it? Interface.
Graphic interface. Hello. Oh my gosh. Hi, Irina. How you doing?
Irina, what up?
Happy holidays
How
to
you
you.
doing? Yes, member.
Oh yeah.
Grace.
Nope, hustling.
Nope, hasn't. Love to see it.
Oh, happy
Happy
holidays,
holidays, y'all.
y'all. Happy holidays.
Deborah and Dan. What up, Dan? It's a
How are you all
beautiful
doing?
thing.
What's going on? What's your
let us
holiday
know.
plans?
Who's
What's
here?
going on?
Exactly. What are you doing for the holidays? Where you're at?
Yeah, and where you're
I'm
watching
always curious
from.
to see where people are. It's always interesting.
But yeah, we're technically working all the way through in a way, but our office is closed.
Well, for like
Mostly.
clients, so we just do our own
Yeah,
stuff.
now we're just like doing our own stuff like this. So technically we're closed as of today.
Like as of the end of day today?
No, as of yesterday actually.
Oh, nice.
Demia, happy holidays. Kira Fashions.
Hey, Christine. Yes, hello, hello.
Hi Christine. How you doing? Okay, we got a pretty good amount of things to cover today, we'll say in
Yes.
the live. But this is like, so the members, you already know the vibe, so it's technically kind of like how we do the members live, except it's an hour only and it's not going to go over.
Yeah.
Like the last members live was like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And then we have questions that people have already asked us, but this is free open. So if you have any questions for us, anything you want to chat about, just, drop it below. No.
Yeah,
Sorry,
please do.
Our dog's
What you
eating a
eating?
plant.
Barrington.
No
It's
honey.
crazy. Yeah.
No, honey.
Anytime during the thing, even if we're answering another question, just drop them in the comments and we'll keep hitting. People did leave some on.
On Instagram and on
Instagram,
comments
yeah.
and stuff like that too on the post. Do you want to quickly just run down 50K journey? Just a 3-minute rundown
Of how it all
to
went.
tell people why they should start a YouTube channel.
Oh, for sure. So yeah, this is like a big deal for us.
While
So,
people are
like,
coming in because
That's a good idea.
50K was our goal for the year.
Yes.
Our revised goal for the year. Leave it.
Yes, obviously the main goal is 100K because you get the pretty plaque, which is something that we visualize every day, and it'll be here eventually. So 50K was like that first major milestone, probably since 10K, I reckon.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, that was the next one.
Happy holidays, Donovan. What up, man?
Hey, Donovan.
And so we started back in 5 years ago this month, I think. Or was it November? It was
Yeah.
November, December 2018.
It was like technically started, but I always
didn't
feel
start
like we
posting.
started in March 2020. Because that's when we
You've said that.
really started.
Yeah,
That's when
but
we
we were-
really were trying.
To be
I
fair,
would
though,
say.
we used to
But we-
rent. Okay, so I'll go back just to even do it because it's pretty interesting. Heading to California, but with my laptop. Love that.
Okay, Christine. Yeah, you
Hey,
know,
California, at
just
least you got some
exactly.
sun.
Oh, you're getting sun though, which is beautiful. But
Definitely
you're doing
jelly.
exactly what we're doing. Your laptop in hand always.
Yeah, it's just you got sun and
Yeah.
do not. So what we used to do when we first started, 2018, we did it because we knew. You hit your goal just in time. We did just in time. It was
Yeah.
last week, I think. So we were super stoked when we had a few videos that the algorithm was blessing us. So we were able to kind of move a little. You eating something again, Barrington? Dude, we're doing stuff.
It's like our dog knows that we're on live, so he's
And
just
then
doing
what's
all the
that?
things he wants to do when he know. Yeah, it's the plant again.
It's probably the bits of
Yeah.
Jesus. dude.
So
So,
yes, sorry. Go ahead.
When we started, I guess we weren't sure sort of what. We didn't start with Christine. What up? How you doing? Welcome. We weren't sure really the best way to sort of what we were going to post about, what we were going to share, and for 2019, when we lived in Montreal, we lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. So and all of our older videos were all in the exact same place because we had nowhere else that looked nice to film.
Yeah.
We had a pretty small space. So, Bemi, welcome. What up?
Hey, Bemi.
And what we did was, and we tried to be creative, we actually rented, there was this company called Breather in Montreal. And they were based in Montreal, but they sort of had things everywhere. And it was kind of like Airbnb for office space. Mm-hmm. So you could just rent a room for an hour. So we found this place in Montreal that we liked. And we used to rent it for like 2 hours. We'd bring like a duffel bag each of clothes. And we'd already pre-plan out like 7 to 8 videos, something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Remember that? And we go in like dead of winter too.
And that's because we're so in this illusion that you needed to have like a perfect space behind your YouTube videos.
Yeah. But that's why I think we started earlier because look how much work
Okay, you're right. You're right. Even though I feel like March was the one, I think maybe because we're cooped up and more consistent. But yes, we were putting in effort. That's real effort.
That was what monetized them. But we had to get monetized. So to get monetized, we used to do that. So we'd rent this place, and I can't remember, it was like $50 an hour, $70 an hour, something.
Yeah.
So we go in there, we'd film. There's a bath, so we just quickly go and change. And it was like just like some sort of random little empty room on the street.
Yeah. If you look at any of our older videos from back in the day, you'll see that we're in like this.
If you don't recognize space. If it doesn't look normal, basically we got that wall at our old place.
Yeah.
All the videos were there, and then previous to that, we used to do them in this random. So if you see any videos that were like, that seemed like where the hell are they? That was where that was.
Exactly.
So that was just like, we're just trying to figure it out. We didn't know what we were doing. We were talking about Twitter and Facebook and stuff before we realized that nobody cared.
Yeah.
And we could only post about Instagram otherwise.
Can you all let us know, though, are there other platforms that you would like to learn more about, be it YouTube, be it Pinterest, any of these things? Because there's things that we obviously use for our clients, but we're not sure if that's content that you care about or want to hear. So please let us know if there are other things that we should work into our content for next year, because we're happy to talk about it, but it just feels like, or not feels like, the numbers always tell us from back in the day that people didn't care.
People weren't interested.
Yeah, people didn't care about it.
We only post about what people want to see, I guess, right?
Also, Samantha.
What up? Welcome. I remember the Montreal apartment hasn't been that long. It's I guess we've only been here for, I mean, you must be an OG then if you've been.
Yeah, respect, because the Montreal one is the bulk of it after COVID basically.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
It was only like that first year, 2019, when we did that little room or whatever. I'd love to see content about Pinterest.
Okay, good to know. Okay,
that'd be good because we'd like to do something else.
Yeah, and Pinterest is an amazing traffic driver. Cool. It's beautiful visually and it's so good for traffic. So yeah, that's good to know.
Which is great. So anyway, the shortest part, the rest of it is just, we just kept going and we were just filming as much as we could and trying to email marketing.
Oh, we love email marketing.
Yeah, we got a bunch on that. And Facebook, Grace, you mean like you want to hear about Facebook pages?
Yeah.
Like business pages and stuff? Definitely Pinterest. All right, nice. Thanks, guys. That's great to know.
Yeah, it's really good to know.
So we just kept posting and figuring it out. Go on.
Alexandra, does that mean your last name's Grace? Maybe.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that was the...
No, because it's like Alexandra Grace maybe or something. But yeah, okay.
I'm sorry.
Or maybe that's like a cool nickname.
Hey, what's good, my man?
Pinterest would be nice. What was the other one? I'm actually writing them down. Email
Facebook.
Marketing, Facebook.
People keep saying Pinterest, so that's good.
Beautiful.
Main platforms, Insta for Walking Man Community Group and LinkedIn for tech coaching.
So Pinterest is really popular on here. Oh, I would love to talk more about Pinterest. That's amazing. All right. Great. Main platforms are Insta for my walking man.
Is LinkedIn interesting
LinkedIn for my
to you guys?
Coaching business. LinkedIn is really important for obviously brand building, anything that's like B2B. So if anyone's in business in B2B, LinkedIn. This is something we'll talk about. We're going to be doing a video on our social media predictions. So I won't say too much on it, but I definitely think LinkedIn is going to become more and more important if you're B2B. So that's great. And then Facebook, especially if you have an older demographic, Facebook is still one of the best platforms without question. And Facebook groups are extremely, extremely powerful still in that category.
Yes.
So that's awesome, Donovan. Bomber Take, long time. How you doing?
What up? And then Kira saying Pinterest, Christine saying Pinterest, Bemi saying I want to learn about the platform Pinterest, planning on going into content creation. I really want to leverage that for sure.
Perfect.
Hear about nice. That lands you with D. Promoting YouTube channel.
Oh, we would love to talk about that.
That's an incognito name. Okay, so here's Alexander then.
That's your incognito. Okay.
My bad. We've done a bunch of YouTube content, but I feel like it doesn't perform as well as.
Yeah, but we'll do it. We'll
We
do
wanna
it
do more.
because we have a lot to talk about on the
Yeah.
YouTube front, and like I
Maybe we
feel
need
like
to force it.
yeah, we'll force people to just consume it because YouTube is without question one of the best things. Look at this that we get to just chill and hang out with you guys on a Friday. Like
Yeah.
building the
It's
YouTube
just the best
channel
thing
is the
ever.
best thing we've ever done. We love it.
Yeah.
The top 3 best things we've ever done for sure.
Yeah.
And it's like top 3 favorite platforms,
Oh, easily.
like without question.
I would almost say
Yeah,
it's a favorite.
I think YouTube is the one that I'm on. Like when you look at like your screen time, that's
Yeah.
my number 1 app, and then Reddit, which might be surprising.
Yeah, Reddit's fire.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can't see emojis.
Yeah. Oh, you can't see emojis?
No.
Oh. That's
Oh, you
weird.
have face green smiling.
Yeah, that is weird. Maybe you can see it on the actual
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Okay, and I interrupted you.
No, it's fine.
but
I,
yes.
I was probably rambling, but either way, we just kept posting and figured it out, and we weren't always consistent. That's the other thing we learned. Like it's hard because high season stuff, like our own stuff, we always pushed it to the side in favor of client work. So clients always came first, so our stuff always suffered. So it really was until we got Dan, who's on the now Dan's our social media manager, and he has been really stepping up and working a lot on the client stuff, which freed us up more to do
Love you,
more
Dan.
YouTube. Love you, Dan.
He's
You're the best.
amazing. He's the reason that we're able to produce more content without
Yeah.
question.
And here we go. Harold, this is my first time joining. Came across your channel. Appreciate you, man.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome.
Nice
Happy
to meet
holidays.
you, Harold.
Merry
And
Christmas.
happy
We know what we're doing
holidays.
here. The only other part to add really was once we got it took December 2018 until like February 2020, so it's at like a year and a quarter to get monetized.
Yeah.
Which was great. Which makes it all Dan. Shout out Dan.
Shout out Dan.
You done know. The
Yeah.
monetization made it more, obviously like, and this is why we really encourage everybody to do YouTube, because if you can get your page monetized, your channel monetized, then it's literally a revenue stream whilst community building, and then it becomes like a bit of a funnel for everything else that you're doing.
100%.
So it's easily the greatest thing there. The other greatest thing though, that as far as just continually pushing, and we were just consistent for a while, then we'd just be really inconsistent and the views would flatten out, and the last, 4 to 6 months we've been pretty good.
Yeah.
And we started the membership channel in September this year, I think.
Yeah. Which
And
we love, and shout out all the members who are
Yes.
watching. And then speaking of members, I
Ooh.
have a gift, the first round of gifts coming through.
Oh,
but
run
keep
that.
talking.
Run
Keep
that.
talking.
So the members have been really great because it allows us to connect with people. Every 2 weeks we do these lives.
Yeah.
And we do them for hour tips. The last one was 2.5 hours. And yeah, we go in and we're able to sort of have that one-on-one, like more high touch situation. So it's been really cool to connect with people on a deeper level, because we didn't do lives too much, because lives often, to be honest, on YouTube, the only problem with them, they can tank your kind of views because they aren't as watched as your other videos.
Yeah.
So it isn't really like an advisable strategy, but we thought this is like a celebration. We're going to keep doing them probably every quarter or something, the public lives. But yeah, the membership channel was the last thing we did, and it's been phenomenal. It's been such a really cool way just to, like I said, talk to people in a deeper way and answer questions that you just can't answer in a comment.
Yeah, exactly.
About all the content and stuff. So yeah, it's been cool. 50K, and then I guess the next goal is 100.
Yeah,
Big
but
100
yeah,
with
it's
that
all
pluck.
consistency. It's all consistency.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm doing here as a gift, speaking of members,
Yes.
we've just gifted 20 memberships. So what does this mean? So we've gifted 20 memberships. It means that anyone watching, of at least the first 20 people, it automatically goes. We don't get to choose. We just gift out 20 and people will get it automatically. So this is our like holiday gift. And what that means is you get the gifted membership, and for 1 full month, you get a free experience of what the membership actually looks
Yes.
like, which means we have like resources in there. We do a live every other week. We have exclusive content. So we do interviews. Right now we have an interview with our friend Stefan, who has 250,000 subscribers on YouTube. So we
Yes.
talked to him about how he was able to do that. And then in 30 days, the membership will expire. So if you like it and you want to continue it, you just have to do it yourself. I don't know what it looks like on the back end, but you have to resubscribe probably if you like it.
Yes.
So it'll expire probably January 22nd is what that will look like.
Yeah.
But that means you'll at least be in a round to get one of the free resources. So we have a December resource that's coming up that's going to be geared toward making 2024 more productive.
Yes.
So yes, just wanted to say that.
No, we need to explain
So
it.
enjoy these gifts, because last time we didn't tell people they expired, and then we saw them resubmit after, like disappear, and then kind of resubscribe after.
Yeah, because they didn't know.
Yeah, so we wanted to make that clear.
And to make it also extra clear, we only made it $5 a month because we're like, well, in this economy, we're all it's
Let's just
not
keep
easy
it chill.
for anybody.
Yeah, it's like you're basically grabbing one of us a latte, I would say.
Yeah, basically
Yeah.
per month, and it's not even that. Usually lattes.
Actually, lattes these days are like $6. Yeah,
plus
you're right.
oat milk.
Jeez, yeah.
Jeez, plus
Things have really
yeah,
changed.
It's out of control.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we're trying to give as much value as possible. Like,
Yeah.
So at the very minimum, it's like 2 hours a month of the Q&As plus the free resources. So what we've also been doing is the things that are in our digital store on our website that cost anywhere from like 10 to 30, $40. We give those for free for members. So members get like a code so they can check that out for free each month. And even if, say, you join, you can access all of the older ones as well. From previous months. We're not like gatekeeping those for what you had to be.
No. So you get to access.
We're trying to like just ramp up the
resources, like templates. Yeah, make sure that you have like the templates that you need. And then we also take recommendations, and like if there's something that would really help, like we'll build that. Like we'll definitely build it. That's why we love the membership, because it's a bit like closer to kind of understanding what people want and need. So it's almost like we're also getting all this information on like what our business owners struggling with, what our creators struggling with, what do you need. It's super, super, super helpful.
Yeah.
And again, thank you to some of the, I can see OGs in the chat who've been here.
I'm gonna just I gotta catch back up because I know that the gifted things took over the comments there. Just to do so, Landon with D, I guess more how-to examples of promotion or ways to convert TikTok or Instagram users.
Okay.
So I guess sales funnel.
Yeah, so like sales funnel, right?
Oh, ManyChat, which is the other thing.
Oh yeah. Oh, ManyChat, we're in love with.
It's the great. We can talk about that a bit. Like it's the greatest thing on earth.
Especially ManyChat for email marketing and email growth. That's probably our largest use case of it right now. Between that and then also YouTube views, like directing people to YouTube videos. So conversion for sure. I wrote that down too.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And Dan was saying all of the year-end reports saying that the frequency of content should be considered in 2024. Adobe Canva is creating solutions that allow us to create bulk content.
Yes.
However, we have to watch the quality of the content. What can you say in that terms?
Watch the quality of the content.
So, I mean, instead of just the bulk stuff, how do you sort of mitigate bulk content maybe not being the most quality stuff in the world?
Well, this is like, in the end, and it's something that we've always said, it's funny because the bulk, and I don't know, does that mean that you saw the video that we did? I can see the name.
I thought it was Damla.
Is that an L-A? Oh, Damla.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably see
Damla, let us know if we're pronouncing your name correctly.
Yes.
But I'm assuming maybe you saw the video that we did. That was the bulk Canva tutorial. And if you haven't, definitely check that out. But for sure, in terms of maintaining quality, it means not just because you're able to distribute at large means that you should miss like the purpose of content, which is like to provide value and be a high quality experience. So that means when you're bulk creating, you're still going over everything to make sure, does this fit in my brand colors? Am I exporting at high resolutions? If this is a story, am I making sure it's a 9:16 and I'm not trying to put a square in what should be a vertical format? So these are all the things that are the photos high resolution. Is the video high resolution?
Yeah.
Is it like too dark? What's the lighting looking like? What's the audio quality? All these things should still be considered. And I think because we're even having this AI integration that's coming in more, especially like with Canva and with Adobe, especially with generative AI, which we'll talk about in our predictions video more, but you're able to increase that quality. So you just need to leverage it well. Because I have seen people, and especially in a Facebook group we were in for a project that we're working on in March, that's releasing in March, a lot of people were using that generative AI, but then like the illustrations, for example, sometimes like, because you can actually say like, create a stock photo of a woman a family at a table, and it'll create that. But like an eye could be completely like off the someone.
They got 6 fingers.
You know what I mean? Or they have 6 fingers. You shouldn't put that out. And I saw them putting that out in content, and I was like, these are the things that we still need to do our own quality control and quality assurance. So make sure that you're doing that for sure, because you always want the best representation of your brand without question.
Yeah.
Period.
For sure.
Yeah.
I was just scanning through this. I guess it's given all the gifted memberships out, so that's awesome. Love
How to do a quarterly reset would be good too. Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, that's something different.
So kind of like
Sort of like a reviewing the strategy and just being like what's working, what's not.
Yeah.
Like checking the insights and being, that's a good idea.
I love that because that is what we do, and monthly, but like a quarterly aspect of that is
Quarterly is
good.
almost like because it's probably a larger.
Yeah, it's a larger batch. Yeah,
it's a great idea.
I love that. We'll definitely
you.
do that.
We definitely
I think
do
that's
that.
awesome.
I did see some comments trying to make sure I don't miss anything here. All the gifted, boom, Bomber Tank, 50K, congrats, thank you, my man. Seeing how you've grown is amazing. I appreciate you.
Thank you, and we appreciate you because you've always been
man.
here.
You've been around from
always
like, the
been
beginning,
here.
bro.
Yeah, thank you.
You're the best. And Harold, congrats on reaching 50K. I'm newbie to YT in the travel space. I have a lot to learn. Hey,
amazing.
Good for you.
Welcome, YouTube.
Welcome to YouTube.
Best thing ever. And if you haven't, we have done a few YouTube beginner videos too.
We have a playlist.
We have a playlist. And you know what? After this, I'm going to link the playlist below too.
Put it in the comments.
But I'll also drop it in the comments so you have it. But we have a lot of beginner videos just on our own learnings from being on YouTube.
Yeah.
But best thing ever, honestly, for so many reasons. Just in terms of the audience connection you're able to create. YouTube communities are awesome. They're like more invested. They're more like serious because it's long form. When
Like
you
look
think
at the
about
things
it.
you guys are saying already.
Yeah, it's like you get to talk to serious
amazing.
people
Yeah.
who are like, you know, like they're either about their business, they're about what they're doing, they have goals, they have ambitions. It's just it's such a cool community.
Yeah.
Where like on some of the other short form focused platforms, it's a lot more like fast. It's just not the same.
What's the
yeah.
word? I know what you mean.
You know?
I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, as well, that's if you're in travel, it's probably going to be a different experience than us in like social media,
Yeah.
like businessy type of stuff.
But at least they're researching and they care to.
Yeah, because they're watching long form content. It's just a different type of, even if the exact same, we're all watching long form and short form, but the way that you interact with long form is different.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
A deeper level.
It's
so
deeper,
it's just the coolest. That's the other thing that just hit me now. I'm like, one of the other reasons we didn't want to speak too much even on the channel about YouTube is we had to achieve something first. For real, because like we've grown many. The other thing, like say with Instagram and all the other
it's
things,
like we've
done
grown a ton of those accounts for clients.
Exactly,
and ourselves.
like
yeah.
before,
yeah.
we got them verified and like 6-figure follower accounts and done all these things. Worked with all these different brands, been on the influencer side from the business, and then with our own side projects, been participating in that. So we've done a bunch on that side, but for YouTube, we wanted to like hit some sort of a goal. 50K felt like a pretty nice goal.
Now we feel like, okay, there's
like,
a formula here that we
what were
definitely
the numbers that you said the other day? The percent.
Only 90% of channels don't make it to 10,000 subscribers.
Yeah,
is what the number was.
And I think
so. Technically, when we hit 10K, that's when we started really at least sharing some content about it.
Yes.
And then at 50K, it's like obviously we have something that you can continue to replicate.
We can be more confident with the information because you've been like the more it goes, the more information you learn, the more we can share,
exactly.
the more authority we have on the matter. Because should I say it? Okay. Well, the main thing that
your pet peeve, is it a pet peeve?
No, not pet peeve.
Okay.
We always joke you're not going to hire an overweight personal trainer. You want someone who's done the work and who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, you wouldn't. If someone has 100 followers on Instagram and they're telling you to grow on Instagram, you're going to kind of look at them sideways.
Yeah,
so
that's why we needed something serious on YouTube to be able to have some sort of authority to share it for people to be like, oh, they've done that. They know what they're talking about because we've done this for ourselves. We've helped a good friend of ours. Helped him.
Actually, yeah. So our friend Bassam too. I don't
great.
think he's here, but he'll watch us after. We helped him get to 20. Is he 25K?
I was about to say 20.
He's 20 to 25K subscribers on YouTube. But again, we wanted to just like make sure that we felt fully confident in what we could do before we spoke to it.
Exactly, and he's like a friend as opposed to like a client or anything, but still.
Light and love from South Africa, amazing.
Yeah. I love it.
Oh my gosh, gorgeous. Hello,
Vidi, what's up?
Hello,
welcome. And how? Okay, cool. Oh, I'm at the bottom.
Okay,
nice.
perfect.
All right, cool.
Okay, so we have some questions. So
yes.
definitely, anyone watching, drop your questions. We're answering questions for the whole hour, but we have some already that were like pre-submitted.
Yes.
That we wanted to go through. There were some quick hits though.
Yes.
Very quick hits. Just going into 2024 in terms of like the mind frame of like making 2024 a successful year. You know, you still have, I know we're saying happy holidays too, but if you want, you still have some time to get, you know, your social plan ready to go in the next bit of time. You know, you still got 8 days. You know, I know there's some holiday stuff in there, but if you can, just some things to start thinking about as you're heading into 2024. What are your objectives? What are your goals? When you create those goals, create the content pillars that are going to ladder up to those goals. So for example, if your goal is to get more email subscribers on your list, you know, that means you're going to have to create a freebie and you're going to have to create posts that are going to ladder up to that freebie. What's the freebie on? Is the freebie on for us, for example, we speak about Instagram. So in a content pillar for us is Instagram for business. That ladders up to our goal of getting more people on our email list, and we do that with our freebies that drive people, that teach people how to grow on Instagram, for example. So you create your content pillars that ladder up to your goals, and then that helps you to create content surrounding that, and then decide on the formats that you want to share these things in. So is that going to be Reels? Reels are still popular. They just serve a different purpose. They serve purpose for brand awareness, right? But then what about carousels? Carousels, hey, they making their comeback. And like this is in data. We did a video on it that will also leave below about like Reels to carousels to stories and the purposes that they serve. But definitely don't count out the other formats.
No.
Carousels always drive the most follows for us, so that's something to consider, and they drive saves and shares really well. So think about that when you're thinking about, okay, I'm going to have these content pillars, and then I'm going to create these types of formats for this content pillar or for these post types. So that's something to consider. Quality, 100%, cannot speak enough about quality. That's what's going to make you stand out. So when you're producing a reel, for example, think about like, okay, is this reel quick? Is there an intro, something that's movement that would make someone watch? Is it high resolution? Is it 9:16? Has to be 9:16. You can't have a reel that's like square or any of these other sizes. It has to be full frame. Is the text, in the safe zone to make sure that, it doesn't get cut off somewhere? Do I have captions? Because a lot of people watch content without the captions. Are those captions there? Add audio? Either that be trending or popular audio, or you're using something like we use Epidemic Sound. That's in the description box below. We love Epidemic Sound, but music sound collection, you can use that too. The reason we use Epidemic Sound, or if you're talking about sound collection, if you ever want to run ads, you can't have trending music or popular music, so that's something to consider. And then what's your strategy going to look like for other platforms too? So we've talked about before that we use an Instagram first strategy for most of our clients and for ourselves too, which means we're creating with Instagram in mind, and then we do these tweaks for the other platforms too. So the other platforms that matter to us based on who our demographic is, like our primary platforms are YouTube and Instagram technically. So we're in an Instagram first strategy, but YouTube also has its own bucket, and we're able to repurpose content from YouTube, which is fantastic. And then Pinterest is another platform that we focus on too, because Pinterest is great for driving traffic. That could be LinkedIn for you. We're thinking about maybe adding LinkedIn more based on what we've been seeing from studies and things like that. So that might weave more into our strategy. But basically you're saying if Instagram is where I'm focusing first, how do I also make sure I show up easily on other platforms? And when it comes to like Reels content, that adapts so easily. If it's LinkedIn, for example, if you have a carousel, you get to turn that into a PDF and put it on LinkedIn, and it makes a beautiful LinkedIn post, for example. So think about that, and then planning ahead so that you stay consistent. Just, take time out of the day. And we did this in our video about Planoly, and it was like how to plan 3 months of content. So you could watch that video and plan the whole first quarter. We also have a content tracker, which will be in the description box below. It's in our shop. Members already have it for free. If you have been gifted a membership, you'll have it for free as well. So you can go and look at the post. You'll see it there. These are the things that you just want to create and start in your mind so that you don't feel like you're catching up, because we just see so many people get stressed all the time. So it's like if you just decide to commit to take an hour out of the day, or an hour out of the day to batch create content, and then another hour out of your day on another day to just write out your captions, you can get a month done once you have your strategy in place. So I just want to say that because I want you all to go into the year feeling like confident about what you're doing so that you can tweak from there.
Love it.
Another thing you should consider, ads as well.
Ads and money.
So if you do want to in live.
Letting the man down.
Yeah. Another thing you want to consider, maybe ads could be something to look at for the new year. We have a ton of ads videos and trainings. We'll continue to release more. But if you really are feeling like stuck in the algorithm and you don't feel like your message is really getting out and you want to see results, ads are a really great way to do that. So there you go.
Bars, dropping bars.
Okay.
Love it. I was going to catch up on the comments. So Sam, all the way from Toronto, around the corner.
You're actually around the corner from us.
Bemi, you want to say congrats. Thank you so much. Watching from Nigeria. That is so cool. Man, we got
That is
South
sick.
Africa, Nigeria,
Nigeria? Oh my gosh, that's
London,
amazing.
and is that Laurie? Congrats on 50K. Thank you so much. That's your goal for
What
2024.
time is it in like Nigeria, South Africa? These people are. I think 1
London, we know
p.m.
is,
Maybe 1 p.m.
5
is a good
hours ahead.
time
Maybe because it hits everywhere.
because maybe it hits a good evening time. So that's awesome.
Yeah,
Okay, really
I'd be
good.
curious. Yeah, what time is it in Nigeria and South Africa? Because
Yeah.
I don't know what the time difference in.
Nigeria is huge
Because when
on
it
our
starts to hit
travel list.
big. We talk about it a lot.
Big on our travel list. We talk about it all the time.
So we'd love to see YouTube growth content. Amazing.
Perfect.
Sick.
Yeah.
Definitely
Amazing,
gonna do
Lori.
more.
We'll definitely do that.
The how to repurpose things like vlogs will be amazing too. Well, funnily enough, we already did a video on that. Actually, I did a video on that.
Yeah.
We could link that one. Maybe if we note that down.
Yeah,
as
we'll
well.
link that one.
We did a
down,
video
too.
on how to turn one video into, I think I said 36 posts. All depending on what it was, but the example that I gave was that. So yeah, it's all there. We'll break it all down for you.
And one thing, what I do like, we could do something because we talked about how to do it. I could see like a video or a tutorial. Some things we do as like tutorials and trainings in the membership, but I feel like that could be something on the public channel where it's like you watch us cut something
Actually
down
do it.
because we
Is
have done that.
Too cumbersome to do on the.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Just because it might be like annoying. Editing's like an annoying process.
Editing,
to
yeah,
watch.
and
It's
it
not
also
fun.
depends. Like we edit in Final Cut. Final Cut Pro. I don't know what anyone else is using here because that
Yeah.
also is super important too. But we edit in Final Cut Pro, but you can do it in iMovie too. CapCut would be a big project though for repurposing like long form content. That's why we use Final Cut. But like we love taking vlog content and making it into like beautiful montages with music behind it, for example. So
Yes.
I wrote that down because I do want to
It might
think
be
of a
something
way
else we
that's
could
good for
do.
the channel that we could do it. Yeah.
So D, check that video out, and if there's other questions on that, like comment on that video or DM us and let us know. And if there's anything else specific you want to know, then we can build that into more content,
Yeah.
which is great. Miriam, congrats! I love your content from Egypt. Oh, that's 3 African
Egypt?
countries.
What?
That's so sick.
That's
what time is
sick.
it there as well? We need to just Google this and figure that out.
I know.
'Cause that's wild. Baby, it's 7:33 p.m. now, so that's 6 hours ahead
Okay. Awesome.
in Nigeria. Okay.
Thank you for joining us. I'm so happy
Yes.
it was a time that worked out for you to join.
6:33 in the UK. Okay, so that's is 5. All right, there's 2 in the UK. That's so ill. And
So cool.
Notion MTB, congrats, you're the best. Appreciate that. If anyone's into mountain bike content, check out Notion MTB. That is my brother. He is killing it right now with his mountain bike content. It's phenomenal
Killing
stuff.
it. Okay, so I'm just
And
dropping some
7:34
playlists, too.
p.m. Oh, it's the same time in Nigeria. Oh, sorry. Same,
Yeah,
same
in Nigeria.
Gotcha,
Okay.
gotcha. In Nigeria, gotcha. All right, so
Amazing.
6 hours. That means like I always think from the southern hemisphere because Australia is like from here is like 16 hours difference. That's where
Yeah.
I'm from, in case y'all didn't know. So I always like have Australia in mind, but I know it's like southern hemisphere and it's like complete opposite side of the earth. So I was never sure like how it changed. Even I don't even know what time it is in like Brazil or something like that. Like as soon as it hits like the southern hemisphere
Yeah.
from the equator.
I have
Anyway,
no idea.
We'll have to figure it out one day.
Okay, so I'm just
do some
dropping.
questions.
I'm just dropping some playlist stuff. I'll give you a question. I'm just dropping some of the playlists for things that we
in the
talked
comments?
about in the comments for you
Love
guys too. So one of the questions
Oh,
is,
do you want to say that Dee's just asked a question about CapCut while you're doing that?
how do you guys turn horizontal content into vertical content for repurposing?
Final Cut.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
do it in Final Cut. I imagine you would be able to do it in CapCut too, if it's anything like InShot. Dan, you might know because Dan has used CapCut more
8:37
on desktop too.
Okay.
So, Dan, my assumption is that it would be like Final Cut and InShot, which means on Final Cut, what we do is we create the frame first. So the frame we'll do as a 9:16 or 1080 by 1920 is usually what it would be when you're looking at like a platform like that. Then you drop the video file in, and then you're just placing it exactly where it should
Dragging
be.
it to zoom in.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's like you're zooming in. So that's also like when we film, we're always aware, like even if you're looking at how we're filming here, it's so that like it's this could be a vertical video and this could be a vertical
Exactly.
video. So we keep ourselves kind of further back away from the
Yeah.
camera so that we could drop this into a 1920 by 1080p frame and get ourselves in solo. So yeah.
Yes, exactly. So there probably is a way to do it there. I would say in CapCut, what I do when I edit, say like the outside project stuff, I would chop the part I want in 16 by 9. Chop it so say it's like I got a 2-hour video and I'll chop like that 1 minute. Then I'll make like the frame, make the 9:16 vertical, drag that in, and then I can cut it if I need to move around, or if it's just zooming in, if it's all centered, the whole thing, you can just drag it from there. So All depends which content you're using. I mean, which platform. Congrats on 50K. Thank you so much. I use the free version of DaVinci Resolve. I've heard of that.
Thank you, Nikiti. Oh, DaVinci Resolve. Our friend Stefan, the one who got the 250K subscribers, that's what he edits with. Stefan edits with DaVinci.
Right.
Apparently, they do
That's probably why
amazing
I've heard of
color.
it.
Apparently, like the color on it
That's
is
the thing
gorgeous.
he was showing us.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So so we have the interview with Stefan, and for the members and for the new folks who just got the gifted membership, you can watch that interview with him. He came by recently.
Oh, sweet. So Dan dropped that in
CapCut on desktop is essentially a free editing tool. So you would change the resolution to 1080 by 1920 and then zoom the video enough to fit the frame. Cool.
So perfect. Exactly.
So it's the exact same
it's the
way.
same as Final Cut.
That's what we do in Final Cut.
Yeah.
So we just don't use CapCut because we have Final Cut.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dan. See?
Look at Dan. Look at that. Social media extraordinaire.
Good-looking young man.
Okay, so first question is, what is the best way to grow Instagram followers? Would it be influencer shout-outs or perhaps a Facebook ad?
I mean, the influencer shout-outs are cool, but I don't know if the ones who move the needle are offering that. You know what I mean? Like the Keith Lee type of thing. If he goes and literally causes lines at anyway he shouts out, anyway he talks about, like, but I don't think you can just buy a shout out from Keith Lee. You know what I'm saying? Like,
theme accounts do that. Yeah,
this wasn't mentioned, but that's what I mean. That, but theme accounts. I was going to say that those are pretty sweet if you can get a good one.
If you're considering influencer shout out like just paying for a shout out, I wouldn't say that. If it's an influencer shout out like a campaign, then that's a different conversation. When we're looking at so we've used influencers have been, especially in like the 2016, they still work, the campaigns still work very well, but in that like 2016 to 2020, 2021, that was like a massive growth strategy that we used for clients because it was really new at the time too. I still believe that influencers work very well if you align with somebody who has like a target demo that's so locked into your target demographic too. So it's like, for example, I know who asked the question. So like you're in like hair care, natural hair care, right? So if you're thinking about what is a right influencer for this, it has to be the type of influencer who is, so it's not like a lifestyle influencer. This gets too broad. And a lifestyle influencer is someone who's like, I post about food, I post about coffee, I post about fashion, I post about everything. You would want the person who everybody's going to already seek that information from you. And that's when you'd want to do a collaboration. So if someone is following them who's like a natural hair care influencer, that's the type of person who's so specific. So even if they only had 5,000, 10,000 followers, they would be more valuable than a lifestyle influencer who shouted out a hotel the day before, who shouted out a candle brand the next day, who's talking about a bunch of stuff, because it becomes more noise. Like, once you see an influencer talking about so many things, it kind of becomes noise to you. If you are interested, maybe you'll do it, but it's not like you're used to them just talking about stuff, so you don't take it as like as bond as much as you would somebody who's like, I'm a vegan influencer, for example, and then this is the shake I use to make sure my protein is on point at all times. That's going to hit more, because it's more targeted. So I definitely still believe that influencers, when they're the right ones who are locked into the same target audience as you, are super valuable, and they for sure drive followers, and they for sure drive awareness. And awareness is what you want to focus on more than anything. With Instagram ads, you have to be a bit more intentional, because you'd want to create campaigns that leverage organic content that already drove follows for you, because that's the predictability that you're leveraging with that. So that's my thought on that. Both could work. Both work, because it's in the end, it's going to be what's the content that you're delivering as well, right? So,
Should we keep going with those questions before we hit the comment
let's do one there.
So Ben's asking, how can content creators make money on Pinterest?
Affiliates.
Straight up. Driving traffic to your website or wherever you want people to go. Because it's one of the biggest traffic drivers that's after probably YouTube, I would say. Yeah,
it would have to be. It's probably like Google, YouTube, Pinterest. And if we're talking about social, then it probably would be YouTube, Pinterest. X used to be high up there too back in the day, but not so much anymore.
No.
Creators are killing it on Pinterest with affiliates. So that means whatever your content is, what you would be doing is signing up to affiliate partners. Like, say we're affiliates on Amazon, for example. So if you look in our description box, the equipment and things like that we use, those have affiliate links, which means we get commission when somebody purchases it. You could do the same thing on Pinterest. So you'd be creating pins around that are specific to your topic, and then they would link out to affiliate pages.
Yeah.
So if you were in fashion, those are the dresses, all the clothing, things like that. That's what you would put on, and then you'd have an affiliate link. There are some restrictions. For example, Amazon does not let you run ads to affiliates, but I think it's fine if it's organic.
Yeah.
So you would have something, and then you would link to your Amazon affiliate link or your influencer storefront. Definitely create an influencer storefront on Amazon too, as a creator.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then Miriam saying, do social media growth strategies change according to the country I'm living in? I don't think so.
Yeah, I wouldn't say so.
It's like we often have people ask questions, hey, I live here, but I want the US audience, which is usually the main one.
Yeah.
And that's a bit different.
I'm just going to stop this recording.
Oh,
I was doing that.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool. But as far as like the growth itself, it's essentially the same approach. It doesn't really change based on that. Like, the main thing, say what Tiff was just talking about, like working with an influencer, like actually sending your product to them or paying them to post about you or whatever. It's all the same thing, and you've got to find the right ones for the audience. So if your audience is your country, which I would say most people would come under that from our experience, then it shouldn't change at all, really. There would probably just be like, I'm trying to think I was about to say something about maybe like there's like cultural nuances, but not really. When it comes to growth, it's all kind of the same.
Yeah, I feel like it's always just going to be like connecting to your audience, as long as you're connected to the audience.
Yeah.
And it'd be like culturally. So as long as you're like creating content that speaks to that culture,
yeah,
you would be fine. But I don't think the mechanics change. Yeah.
No, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I wouldn't
so
say
I
the
know Miriam
mechanics.
said she was in Egypt.
Yeah.
So like you'd want to be culturally aware of like, okay, well, the people that I'm trying to reach are Egyptians, and they, have certain values or things that they want to see depending on your niche as well. Because then it's like the culture and then the niche underneath that. So it's, but I don't think that's more the content.
Yeah.
I'm just sort of thinking this out loud.
Yeah.
I hadn't really thought about that before. Yeah, I don't think that would change at all.
Yeah.
I would say all the strategies and even all the stuff, like the things that we post it doesn't matter. Because we obviously we're the things that we're posting are not niche specific. Like if you're a real estate agent, if you're a photographer, if you're in hair, like it's all the same thing. It doesn't matter. It can all be applied. So the growth strategies seem to apply to everything.
Yeah,
which is good.
Agree 100%.
Which makes it a bit easier as well.
For sure. Another question is, will you have a discount for members for your one-on-one sessions?
Oh,
yes.
someone asked that? Oh,
yeah,
cool. I did see that come through
on Instagram. Yeah.
Okay.
The answer is yes, and we'll announce it in the membership tab. But we are going to do discounts anywhere from 30 to 50% on our one-on-one services.
Yes.
We talked about it already, so we decided like that is something that we want to do for the new year. So 100%.
Yeah, just want to make sure the members.
It's like an additional bonus or additional perk, and if you can get. If it's just easier to sit with us one-on-one, and that's what we do, we love doing that too, like where we get to talk specifically to you about what you're doing. We get to open your ads manager, for example, and look through the ads manager. We get to look at your content. We get to do live feedback. Like that's the stuff we really love doing, and tweaking and all that stuff. So yes.
And it's actually a good time for the members to be a part of that, because like the group is relatively small now, and the people who actually like people watch it after the fact, but the people who were there, like we're able to spend more time answering the questions. So it's almost like if you're even thinking about doing like the consulting, like the one-on-one thing, like the $5 for the member to get 30% off, the savings is way more than $5.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
without question.
It's definitely worth your time. Like if you're ever considering, just get the members. It's the way to go.
Yeah. Another question, can small accounts still grow on Instagram? It feels like our chance is over.
No, not according to the study, the metrical study.
Yeah, it's not over. It's the best time. It's literally the best time. So definitely recommend you watch our video that was called Instagram Reels Are on the Decline. It's going to be in the description box below.
Yeah.
But what they were actually seeing is that smaller accounts had a actually higher opportunity to grow for various reasons. One is like there's this incentive potentially that platforms have to push your content out because it'll make you use the platform more if you are seeing results. That's what the TikTok strategy was. That's why TikTok people grew so fast, right? They're specifically seeing that a lot in the Reels category. But when you're fresh and you have a fresh account, you get to completely inform the algorithm from the get-go of exactly what you're doing and what you want and who you want to attract. You get to engage with people that will let the algorithm know who to serve you most to. And then what they were showing in those stats is like the impact of stories were higher for people with smaller accounts. And we've seen it too. I feel like you get to start from a fresh plate. And if you're really intentional from the beginning, you're in a good place. So I think it was accounts either under 1,000 or under 5,000 that they quantified as a small account.
Under 500.
Was it under 500? So then,
but they had different. I think there was
different tiers.
I think
right?
that was the lowest, 0 to 500. So there was this company called Metrical that did a study that we went through in the video, and to sort of like show the Reels views are declining because people kept commenting, "Oh, my Reels used to do this, now it does this."
Yeah,
and it's happening to everybody, and it's not you. You didn't mess up. The algorithm changed.
Yeah.
So this was like a proof. They measured or looked at like 9 or 10 million posts.
Yeah,
it was like a lot of posts, and that's how they determined what Tiff was talking about earlier about carousels being a really high performer. Reels were prioritized, like overly prioritized when they were new.
Yeah.
And then as time went on, and then there were, at first there wasn't many Reels. And then over time, there were too many Reels, and it was harder and harder to get seen. And then people got discouraged because making videos is a lot harder than posting a carousel, making graphics, or taking a photo.
Yeah.
So they basically deprioritize Reels essentially in the algorithm, or less than they were at least.
Yeah.
And they found that the other posts still perform
they went pretty
well.
ham though. That's why they went like,
it was just
remember, Reels were everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's like a correction because it was like pretty intense.
It was like inevitable.
To encourage adoption, it makes sense. Like you're gonna flood the platform with Reels because you want adoption. So it makes sense. But now it's like not just creators and not just business owners using Reels. Everyone uses Reels. Everyone's friend does, you know what I mean? If they go on vacation, they're doing it. So it's just more quantity out there, which of course gives you less opportunities to be seen.
Correct.
So it made complete sense.
Yeah, it's completely logical.
But definitely, like, don't give up. Just be super intentional. And if you aren't engaging, we can't overstate the importance of actually being social on social media.
Yeah.
So, ads, if you're not using ads, for example, the organic, true way to get in people's faces is to engage with them. You have to be in the platforms, commenting on your target demographics posts, interacting, engaging. That means liking the post, commenting where it makes sense, DMing where it makes sense. This is why we love ManyChat too, because it automates a bit of this as well in terms of having these conversations in the DMs and encouraging that. Like we're having more conversations in DMs than we ever have before because of ManyChat. You need to be a user of the app and be on the app so that your content can be served, because they're all signals to the algorithm. And in understanding how the algorithm works, it's almost a lot more black and white than you think it would be. Like it feels complicated, but it's like, no, if you're out using the app and interacting with people, the algorithm's going to start serving your content because they're like, oh, Tiffany and Craig DM'd each other. So when Tiffany shares a new post, I've got to make sure that that's in front of Craig. And Craig likes XYZ, and they use that information to be like, I got to show this to Craig because of the way he interacts. So you definitely just have to be a real user of it, and you'll see that change in it. And I think a lot of that gets lost in this, like, oh, I'm going to post and then I'm going to dip. Like, you can't post and ghost. You actually have to be in the app and using it.
Yeah.
And that doesn't need to be like 2 hours a day. Even if you're taking 15 minutes out of your day to do that, I think it's really, really important. It's going to make a difference for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Christine was saying, like, ad manager help, please. So are we going to do many more ad videos? We probably will.
In the members, we're going to do... So the reason why we do certain things in the members group is some things are... and we'll talk about this when we're talking about how to grow on YouTube. When you're doing too many different things that aren't in this formulaic sense of a video of what you know that the audience loves on platform, you run the risk of decreasing your views, and when you have less views on and less click-through rates, it hurts your growth, clearly, like if they're tied together. So with the membership, we get to do whatever we want in there. So that's why, like, say Kira, like when we're talking about, or Christine, when we're talking about ads manager, for sure we would do anything you guys want us to do, just let us know, because that means we can prop up our camera. It doesn't need to be like a quick paced, like an intro in the first 30 seconds, and it's got to be less than 15 minutes. Like there's not all these things around it. We get to just kind of free flow. So if there's something you want to do in Ads Manager, just let us know, and for sure we'll be down to film it like in there for sure.
Yeah.
That's why we were able to even put up that interview with Stefan. For how he got 250K subs. We didn't think it would perform on our public channel, but we knew our members would appreciate it because it's so long. It's long form and something that's like 45. It was like 30. 40. I think it's 30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
And that's like you can hurt your watch time potentially. So it's like you have to be so strategic with the public channel, where the membership channel you get to be super free. So that's why you kind of see
a few more.
You'll see more things in there that are like not about being quick hits. It's about more like, okay, let's go deep into this thing. So
just because we can. Yeah, exactly. Miriam saying, I am selling handmade products and most of my reels or posts are about packaging or making the product. I really struggle with new ideas that works for my business. That is an interesting one because
oh my gosh,
someone just walked in our back.
It's the Amazon.
Appreciate you, bro.
That just scared me so much. I was like, what's going on? Okay.
I appreciate him. He didn't have to.
Yeah, that's cool.
This guy's the best.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Okay, so I would probably suggest to look at other, like, I know that the handmade products, businesses are typically called like makers. Mm-hmm. So if you could look at other makers, it doesn't even have to be in your exact niche, and see what they're doing. Maybe there's a way, because each little niche, that maybe your specific handmade product, like that niche of products, they might even have like something that's popular in that community that people like to see and that work really well for others. So I would say start with that to see what other people are doing. Yeah. It's cool that you're doing the packaging or making it, because that's like a thing behind it. If there's anything on, say, like how to use it, depends on what the product is, but like maybe there's a educational aspect on how to use that product, or there's like an educational aspect as well on like how the history of that product, or like other tip-based things, like, hey, here's 5 ways you can use this product to do X.
Why the elements of the product are important. Perfect. Like, for example, there was like this, I bought like these soaps, and I got like the soap and the candles from that black marketplace. Yes. They had like a black-owned marketplace where we live recently. And the big thing I was interested in was like, what are the materials? Where do they come from? So kind of like what Craig was saying there, I think that's interesting. Even like why you use certain materials over something else, especially if there's like some health benefit to it, or organic, any of these things, I think is super important. For inspo, can't recommend Pinterest enough. Pinterest is awesome for inspo. You can create a Pinterest board that's just your private inspiration board, and like put posts in there, so you can always have them to look back at. And Etsy, like, who on Etsy is killing it? I'd be curious in your category, because you can kind of see what their social media presence looks like. Yeah. And it's not copying. It's like a lot of there are no really new ideas anymore. They're all iterations of inspiration that you're getting from something else, right? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Was there another question there?
No, that was just Christine saying thank you. Okay. For the ads thing.
And Christine, I don't know if you've seen our Instagram ads tutorial for beginners, because that one is like pretty updated. There haven't been much changes with the Ads Manager platform, and that gives you a pretty good beginner to end. And then maybe if you have specific questions, there are things that we could just like add on top of, which might be super helpful too. So just let us know. So what inspired you to start a YouTube channel?
Gary Vee.
Oh yeah, right?
We were watching Gary Vee, and he's good for like motivation
what a
when you're like newer in your business.
Throwback period of life, yeah.
He was like great for the newer stuff. Like right now we don't need motivation. So like and then he always said that. He's like, I want you to progress beyond needing my content. So he was really good in the beginning, and he was always like document the journey and stuff. So that's why we were vlogging a bit earlier on, because we lived in Montreal and we were traveling to Toronto. We were doing some like cool stuff. We had Sony as a client, so we'd go and we'd do like activations with them, and events and all these different things. So we were like, all right, well, let's just document stuff and see what happens. And we started doing tips. I guess we just did that from the beginning too.
Yeah.
So like,
it was from our research. So basically binge watching a bunch of other YouTube experts, and they started saying like, oh, if you want to create content that reaches a new audience, you should have search as something to consider. So we'll do a video on this. Search is our number one driver of traffic to our YouTube channel. It has been the largest contributor of growth is search. So that's optimizing your videos with keywords and titles that are searchable. So that's a big focus, and that's why I definitely want to do a video on it, because it took a lot of I was obsessive with that stuff, and I think that's what also progressed us out of just the vlog content, because we were like, okay, we're vlogging, but does anyone care about us? Like, what do we do? Do you care to watch us do anything?
We started that. It's almost like you got to get people to care about the channel first, and then maybe people are interested in
what we're doing. Yeah.
So we probably want to get back into that, or maybe we do vlogs on the members channel, because they might not perform. See, it keeps coming back. They might not perform on the main channel, and that can ruin a lot of stuff. So for us, the members gives us the freedom to be like, oh, let's just give more value. Yeah. And put it there. So we're not sure. We'll see how it goes next year. And then you get feedback.
And then the members are kind of closed off, where it's just like, hey, y'all, you really... If you're in here, you would be honest with us. You like us. Maybe you care more to see stuff we're doing.
People are asking
versus on a main channel where they're like, I didn't ask to see you doing this.
Yeah,
just give me the tips.
People were people used during COVID. We were trying to be creative. We did a 7-day challenge where we had to do a vlog for 7 days,
which was awful.
And it was awful. It was too much.
It was too much stress. It was so much work.
And one of the things we did, we're giving value in all the vlogs. We had to keep coming up with topics every single day for 7 days, and we were filming. And Tiff was editing that night and releasing the next day. It was too much. Yeah. And one time we were showing the plants, because we were getting into plants at the time.
And we had a plant that was dying, and then it grew back, and we were so happy, and we were keeping people up to date with it.
And people were yelling at us in the comments.
And then someone's like, "No one asked about your stupid plants."
Yeah. All right, geez, we're sorry.
You're damn, sorry.
So every time we've tried to show something else, it's one person, two people.
Yeah, it was 2 people.
You know what it's like. You see all the comments are for some reason, it's been an extraordinarily positive community, which we're super grateful for.
So grateful.
All you guys having just really thoughtful questions, really kind things to say. We
can't express how much we very much love and enjoy doing what we're doing on YouTube, and enjoy talking to you, hearing. It's like you get to just. You're hanging out with a bunch of people who have something on the line like you do in a way too. So you're entrepreneurs. So it's like we're all hustlers. We're all working.
You could be watching Mr. Beast, but you're watching this type of content.
We're dream driven. Yeah. Exactly. We're dream driven. We're goal driven. So obviously it's people that you would want to be with, and want, if you were going to a party, it's the best case scenario of people that would be at the party with you.
Being in a room with all the people who commented or cool on the channel is would be awesome. Yeah. So it was all right, but you always focus on those little negative ones. So all right, well, fine. Let's just do content about Instagram, because that's all anybody wants to see. So fine, you know what I mean? So it's almost like YouTube bullies you into doing certain things.
Which you'll see. That's why you'll have a thing, and I do want to talk about this too, is influencers who they were something completely different, and then they blew up with one Instagram video, and now they had to be an Instagram expert. That is because the algorithm can bully you, can be well, this gets you views, so you got to do this. When in the end, it's you weren't in the end, we can speak to Instagram. We love talking about social media. It's what we've done for over a decade with High Season alone. So, or a decade with High Season, and then over a decade in our own respective careers. So we love talking about social. That's why we can go forever and talk about it. Yeah. But there is a thing that happens where we could have done one video on a computer, we just want to talk about our MacBook or something, and then it blew up, and then you're great. Now we're a MacBook channel or tech channel,
and we don't know jack about
which tech, we wouldn't let happen to ourselves, because we're not experts in tech, and we're never talking about stuff we're not experts in. Yeah. Period. Yeah.
We've seen it a lot, and I know there's people who in our niche who've done things like Tiff said. There's real examples. There's a handful of people. It's not just one; it's a bunch of them. And it's sort of it's unfortunate for them, because they probably didn't come into it wanting to
talk about
about that, and then now they're oh damn, now I got to learn about this stuff and actually know what I'm talking about and thing. And they hadn't done it for anybody else, and they just did it for themselves, and they wanted to share some of their own that they had. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, now they're positioned as this social media person because one video got 1 million views or something. So
that's the gift and the curse part.
The gift and the curse of YouTube. Yeah. It's a little unfortunate. So that's why we're trying to keep on it. I mean, it's been 5 years for us. It's a different time now. Yeah. We're pretty sweet in it.
We're pretty locked into that.
Should we hit some of these comments? Yes. So, Mambe, what up, man? I have some prospects who I'm having trouble closing on social growth and management. What's the best thing to say to people who object to your prices when they tell you anyone can just manage my pages and posts?
Oh, God, drop them.
Dash
Sorry,
that.
you don't object to that. If somebody
No.
doesn't want to pay your price, they're not the right person.
Nope.
There's something where we don't know what your costs are, so we can say like make sure that you feel you're priced within your market and it makes sense.
There's that too.
But if you're an expert in social and you've proven that you're an expert in social, if they don't want to pay, they would be the worst. They're not going to be great
They're gonna
clients.
be a nightmare of a client.
They're not going to be great clients because they're
let
going to
anyone manage it for you. Go.
then and see and
Get your
then
niece to
they
do it or
could
something.
and then
Like,
a year
and you
later
they'll call you back.
they'll call you back.
That's happened.
So
to us.
and honestly, for us, we don't budge on pricing in any way.
No.
The only pricing changes that we have are in that membership group where Craig and I have decided to do that thing because we want to be able to help more people.
Yeah.
But we
And
would
did the Black
never.
Friday
people
sale for the
don't-
first time ever.
Yeah, exactly. No one ever, if we have ever pitched, and we don't really do pitches, we're more referral based.
Yeah.
But if we have proposed our pricing and someone says no, then we're like, okay, we're not the right fit. And that's it. There's just nothing,
Yeah.
there's no conversations to be had around that because you will hate yourself if you're doing a service that you know is
They
worth
did it
more
yeah.
and you did it for less. And always the person who wants less is the person who's going to bug you more about a
Yeah,
lot of
it's like
things.
the
So-
20%. No, what are they? The 20% of the
The
pay,
20%
but
of the pay.
80% of the hassle or whatever it is.
Exactly.
Like whatever the ratio is.
Exactly.
It's like I've been doing social media since 2007. You can imagine what it was like back then, trying to convince these C-level executives the value of Facebook pages and
Yeah.
stuff. And
Yeah.
and that hasn't really changed. Even though I thought over the pandemic it changed a bit and people understood, like if people are stuck in their house, then what have they got? Like the digital side is everything, and then it's really quickly people forgot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say just don't budge on your price and try and find better prospects that are more suited than trying to talk somebody into something. We've never talked a client into anything. And we're not interested. Like
Yeah.
it's not worth your time.
Our accountant, when they tell us the price, we're like, boom, we pay it. Project manager, we pay it. Anybody who tells us their price, we pay the
If we
price.
want to work with them,
If we want to work with them. If it was out of our budget,
then we're like,
then we just be
okay.
like, okay, that's out of our budget, but respect.
But we're not
And-
trying to talk
but
them
we'll-
down. We would
exactly.
never talk anybody down. It's just
Never.
like we respect it because we don't budge.
Yeah.
So we don't expect anyone to budge. I think we learned that because I don't know if we ever said it, but we worked at Apple together. That's how we met
Yeah.
in Toronto.
We're ex-Apple.
Ex-Apple
people.
employees, and
Mhm.
Apple were the one. It was even weirder to see them go like Black Friday sales now, because back then, when like this is 2011, 2012, they were the only company that didn't do sales ever. No discount. The only thing was a $100 discount for the educational price.
Yeah. They would, and they may add something. I think even now, aren't they just adding something where it was like, they had something where it was like, you
was
could get a
some
MacBook Pro
weird
and get a
thing.
discounted iPod Touch. It was something like that back in the day. They
That
would
might have
do
been before my
at the
time.
max.
Me, they had
Yeah.
$100
Yeah.
off on the educational
So there you
thing.
go.
But that was it. So for us, we've always been like, oh no, we've really worked a long time, doing this work. So we know
With
our
20
stuff.
years of experience, we're not, between us, we're not,
Nearly 30.
nearly 30 years
Yeah.
of experience because Craig started in 2007.
So
But, yeah.
like we know the stuff too well, and we know what it's worth, and it's like one of those things. Once you get paid a certain amount, like that becomes your new baseline.
Yeah.
So once you sort of do that, and you're like, maybe it's just not a fit. There's certain people that aren't a fit, and that's really what it is. That's why we started. As our clients got larger and larger, like Meta is the biggest, like damn near $1 trillion company. We're like, okay, well the prices reflect that for the done for you services. So if it's a small company, we probably won't be a good fit, but we came up with consulting. It's like an hourly thing, which people can have access and we can help them do it.
Yeah.
We came up
the
with
membership.
the
That's why we came up
membership
with
because
this,
then
yeah.
we can answer your questions for $5 a month. There was something else as well. Even like the
we
digital
added
products.
the accelerator. We added the digital products. We're basically adding everything that allows us to
still work with
serve
people
exactly
at an affordable rate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's to do that. So I know that was a longer answer, but just to think in a little bit of a different way as well. So it's
like you're not allowed to go into a store and haggle the pricing.
People used to come to Apple and do it.
Okay, yeah, but
They were
technically
not
you're
from
not
Canada
supposed
for the
to.
most part.
But like you're delivering a service, you price it at what you feel is right. If you feel like maybe your pricing isn't right, if it's feedback you get 20 times, maybe look at it and make sure you're at market rate, or maybe look at your offer because could be a problem with the offer. That's something to consider, but don't decrease your pricing because you're devaluing what you already said was worth something. So
yes,
yeah.
I was looking at the time now. We just hit an hour.
Okay, so we just hit our hour, so we'll go for just a little bit longer.
Do you want me to keep going through these?
Yeah. I want to clear everybody.
Okay,
I don't want to leave anyone hanging.
Bum Tank, the throwback was we're talking about the old vlogs.
Oh,
back
yeah.
in the rental cars. Austero, Gary Vee is amazing. Sure
He is.
is. Guys, you're the best people to share Instagram and social media tips, news, changes, etc. You're kind and have very positive energy. Wow. So thank you for all Thank you for all of what you do and the hard work. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you. Really, really appreciate that. Thank
That's
you
very,
so much.
This is what we're talking about. Just like
This is why we
kind
love
of-
YouTube.
Yeah,
A beautiful
appreciate
community
you,
of people.
For real.
Thank you.
That's amazing. That's so cool
Yeah.
to hear. Like that makes it all. Honestly, as we've always said, this is like kind words from the community mean more than kind words from say paying clients. I don't know why. It's just like that's how we've been.
And they're both important.
No, they are. But I feel like there's something. There's something about it.
Yeah,
There's something
it's
about
like just knowing that you're helping, and it's like your free resources help people. Because when you're paying, someone's paying for it, you should be doing what you're supposed to be doing.
you're doing what.
But
you're
yeah,
doing.
if
It's like
you're
an
giving something
exchange.
free and it helps, that's a beautiful thing.
And it's just
So,
it's like
yeah.
people with gratitude and like I don't know. I think gratitude's and we big on that. So very
Yeah.
cool. So I appreciate you. I had a quick question. I have my personal account which has 735 followers, and my story reaches about 130 people on a good day. But my band's Insta profile with 2,700 followers reaches the same amount, which is low. Unless I use an interaction sticker, which can reach about 250 people on stories there. So I guess the question is probably more like, is that normal?
Insta profile with 2,700 reaches the same amount, which I think is low, unless I use an interaction sticker.
So
Well, percentage-wise,
how-
it would be lower for sure.
Yeah.
But it could be like the account standing.
Oh, unless
in
you can reach
general.
250. Exactly. That's what I was about to say. The
Yeah.
account itself, and the other thing, music's a weird one
Yeah.
because it's sort of very subjective. Whereas like, you really it's hard, like it's not as like obvious who the target market is and stuff, and like people might like one song or they not like anything else or whatever it is. Music's just so strange.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't like stress about it, but it definitely does sound like the account standing, whatever is with the account, like that's sort of
My
the
question
way
is
that
why
it's
the
performed.
difference in reach? Yeah.
Oh, why the difference in reach? Yeah.
So the thing is, like, you have to look at like how are you utilizing the Rock Band's account? Are you using it as just like a distributor of information? Because if it's just a distributor and it's probably not connecting in the same way your personal account does, then it would make sense that it doesn't have the level of interaction because it might be seen more of like a promotional tool than an engagement tool.
There you go.
And I think that's the
That's the
difference.
problem with music.
And
It
that's
always
why
feels
this,
like,
yeah.
listen to my stuff.
And
Listen
musicians,
to my stuff.
sometimes it does feel like, hey, I'm not giving you me. It's not like us talking to you and us like getting you in. It's more like, this is the single, this is the song, this is the show. It's more, it feels
Come
like a
here, do
promotional.
this, buy this.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it will make sense. And also there is this thing where sometimes as you increase, your engagement rate can go lower because, and that's why it kind of goes back to what we're talking about with the new accounts. When you
Yeah.
do have a newer account or smaller accounts, you can reach more people. It's just about how you continue to nurture them as you grow, because your engagement rate can decrease as you grow if you're not doing the same thing you were doing to build them in the first place. So
Yes.
definitely look at like applying a true strategy there for your account, whether that means more interactivity. So using the stickers, of course, that's a big one too. That's great that you're doing that. Do that more often and share more behind the scenes. Like make sure that account feels as connected to your audience as say like your personal account would.
Yeah.
And then that should help with the stories.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
Bomtang saying people coming to haggle and came into the stores and say they wanted the Wi-Fi iPad. Did you work at Apple? Because
Only Apple people know that.
yeah, the Wi-Fi people used to always say that. That was the hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we need to talk about that.
Yeah,
you're
'cause-
definitely an ex-Apple
Yeah.
or a current Apple, whatever.
Yeah.
But you're definitely in the Apple sphere.
That is hilarious. I love it. All right, we've got one more question here, I think, or two more quickly.
Oh, this was actually
last one.
that was the last one.
Oh, that was the last one.
Yeah, what inspired you to do the YouTube channel? Because this one actually we ended up answering.
Oh, how do you
So-
quality? Okay, cool. We did that.
Yeah, perfect.
Helpful. Perfect.
All right,
Nice, y'all.
so thank you all for coming to watch.
Yes.
This was awesome. It was really good to hang out with you. And again, you were all gifted. So anyone who's gifted a membership, remember that it will expire in 30 days. So go inside, check it out, see what you think about the membership channel, soak up all the content in there, the resources, all of that jazz. Maybe it's like an emergency.
Oh, Tis mom's calling. So.
Let me see if she's calling so much.
Hey, just answer my phone. She's calling here.
Oh.
There you go. Sorry, guys. Back at house. Okay, we have to talk offline about that. Particularly if you worked at our store. If we know each other, and we didn't realize we did know each other. But yeah, if anyone we gifted a membership, it'll be.
I don't think it's an emergency because I hear talking to someone.
Oh,
so,
okay. So
yeah.
it'll be free for a month for everyone who got it. And once again, we didn't get to choose who it was. Like, you just put it through and it just allocates it. So free for a month, so you can have access to all the stuff. And then at the end, if you decide to want to continue, then you just got to go ahead and do that like manually.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, thank you for everyone who follows, who subscribed. Thank you, Irina. You're the best.
Oh, Irina, you're still here? Okay,
Yeah,
I love you guys.
hanging
You're
out.
sticking all the
But
way
like,
through. Irina,
so
we gotta talk. But
we do.
that's another conversation.
Yes.
But yeah, we've been talking about you and yesterday too, and how amazing you are and a lot of stuff. So
Irina's
we've
awesome.
got to talk. So yeah, I guess that's it.
Just appreciate everybody.
holidays.
50K is huge.
50K is
we're just very
amazing.
grateful, and it's just so cool. Just it took 5 years to get 50K, which is I guess a pretty long time, but
I don't think it's long. Everything in its own journey, and also
It's been slow
we
and steady.
barely posted.
yeah, we kind of messed up.
Like
That was
if
our
you
fault.
look at it, we barely posted in 2018. We barely posted in 2019. We probably posted 20 times in all of 2019. Maybe we'll do a video on it about the journey,
Maybe
so that we can give some tips throughout that too.
to say what we learned.
Thank
we
you,
messed up.
Samantha.
Yes,
thank you so much for
Samantha.
being here. Really, really appreciate you. Happy holidays. I hope
Yes.
you have like a beautiful, restful, even if you do some work, take some time out to rest in between. That's what we're going to do. We're going to like really enjoy like a chunk of days that is just like full couch potato watching reality TV shows and stupid movies, which is like our favorite activity, and eating a lot. So that's going to be
we
like
gotta
the
line
vibe. We got a lineup
Line
of
up
stuff to
ridiculous
watch.
Movies.
So that's gonna be our vibe. So I hope it's relaxing and beautiful. Our dog is ready. He can
He's just,
see
like,
that we're finishing
Leaning
up.
Hey, buddy. Do you want to say hi? Do you want to say hi to the people down?
Come on, baby.
You guys gotta see Barrington. He's the best. And
But we appreciate
you
we
for
appreciate
the
you
help.
guys so much. Can't
Yeah.
even begin to say.
Yeah, for
and we
real.
just want the most success for you. Appreciate you, Christine. We want the most success for you in 2024 and beyond, without question. And we can say a lot of that's inconsistency in being consistent, not inconsistency, but in
Yes.
consistency.
Yes.
So being consistent has been the biggest thing. It's the same thing we note for our clients too. So just commit to being consistent in the year, and it'll work in your favor for sure. So, wishing you all the best.
Yes.
Have a beautiful, happy holiday. The next video that's going to come up is our social media predictions, our annual. This is going to be like
Yeah.
the 6th one or 5th one. I think it's like the
Maybe.
6th
Hang
one.
on, if you did it, did we do it 2018?
We did in 2018.
We did 2018.
Yeah.
2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23? 6?
It's our 6th annual social media predictions video. It's going
Wow.
to come out next Thursday. So definitely look out for that.
Yes.
So we will see you. Premier Adventure, thank you so much.
Oh,
Happy
Miss P.
holidays. Miss P,
What
our
up?
girl's in here too. Hi, Miss P. How
Hey,
are
and
you?
Harold, yes, indeed. Appreciate everybody, man. You're just awesome. It's very, very cool.
Yeah, love you guys.
Very, very grateful. Thank
yeah.
you all for just the
Thank
support
you.
and kind words and just watching the videos and commenting. And
Yeah.
it's just great. It's very, very cool. We try and make sure we respond to everybody every day.
Miss P's
so.
an OG too.
Oh, yeah,
So,
OG member.
All right. So have a
All right,
beautiful
y'all.
rest of your day. Have a beautiful holiday, however you celebrate. I
And
hope that
Happy
it's
New Year
relaxing
as
and
well.
beautiful. Happy New Year. And we will see you all.
We have a members live next week.
Oh, and members. We have a members live next week.
Next
so we're kind of not really
Wednesday.
saying bye to you guys yet because we do
Yeah.
have one next week. So, okay. Take care,
Yes.
everyone.
All
Bye.
right,
Have a
guys.
beautiful rest of your day. Have a
Take
beautiful
care.
weekend. Ta-ta.
Peace.
Later.